Hello everyone, I'm back, and today I'm here to maximize your fear. So far, 2024 has been a year filled with many strange things caught on trail cams. From weird unidentified creatures to killers and to many other unexplainable phenomena. So today I decided to highlight some of the most chilling and downright horrifying creatures caught on trail cameras this year. So grab your maximum fear coffee mugs and allow your fear to be maximized as we recap the scariest trail camera clips of 2024. Mega Compilation. On May 10th, 2024, some of the most mysterious footage yet was released. A man by the username of Self-Flexion was live streaming on TikTok and walking around a local park. Before I show the footage, keep in mind that live streams can't be altered or edited, as they're taken in real time. But the man walks around for some time until he spots something moving in this tree.
This is the spot. Nah, come back out. Why they be peeking like that? Peeking. Alright, so look, let me know. I'm gonna let this stay. Just let me know if y'all try to be friends with him. Maybe I'll come bring him some food or something.
He zooms in, and what we see doesn't make any sense. Within a hole in the tree is a tiny humanoid figure. It's very pale and skinny, and it's seemingly startled by the man's presence. Judging by the size of the hole in the tree, this extraterrestrial being looks to be only around a foot tall. And then it eventually sneaks back into the tree and returns to its place of hiding. It's being said that this creature is called a duende, which translates to ghost or goblin in Spanish. Duendes are small humanoid creatures often compared to gnomes, leprechauns, and goblins. The legend originates from European, Latin, and Spanish folklore. They're known to be mischievous, and most times they're also malevolent. They're said to be very evil. So I suggest this guy doesn't try to make friends with it, as he suggested in the video, but it would make for a pretty good piece of footage. This video was taken deep within a South American jungle. A group of explorers wanted to hike and explore this jungle, so they set out with their hiking gear and a drone camera. Eventually, after hiking for a while, they reached a clearing that was a good spot to take their drone off and fly it around. They launched their drone and watched through the camera as it flies around the sky, getting some amazing footage of the breathtaking jungle. But they took notice of an anomaly on the edge of a particular cliff. So they flew the drone closer and closer, and some extraterrestrial-looking creature is seen. We can tell this thing is real and alive because it moves its head. Some even say they can see it blink. Zooming in, it has black, sunken eyes and an unproportionately large head. Characteristics of an alien gray. And the way it remains hidden behind the foliage tells us it doesn't want to be seen. An alien gray or gray alien are frequent subjects of close alien encounters and alien abduction claims. They're supposedly commonly seen at UFO crash sites and also in very remote, untapped areas, just like the South American jungle in this footage. So what do you guys think? Is this a real alien caught on camera? The following clip shows extremely close-up footage of what certainly could be a Bigfoot. As we can see, a brownish orange-haired beast walks through a clearing in the woods, caught by the camera of a couple hikers. An exact location was not listed, But the footage truly is convincing. Skeptics immediately tried to debunk the close-up encounter by saying it's just a man in a costume of some sort. But believers quickly clapped back at the claims, saying that it couldn't possibly be a suit because of the height, shoulders, and even its very defined muscle structure. Its leg muscles, back muscles, and glutes are all super defined. If it were a costume, they would not be able to flex and move around like this. Also, taking a look at the way it walks, its strides are almost human, but not quite, if you know what I mean. And this is what is making people even more convinced. It really is some of the closest supposed Sasquatch footage I've ever seen. Let me know what you guys think. These never-before-seen trail cam captures come from Heath Jude on TikTok. After retrieving the memory card stored within her trail camera, she plugged it into her laptop to take a look at the photos it had captured. And when she saw what it captured, she sat there frozen in fear, just staring at her laptop in awe. The photos from the trail camera mounted deep in the woods show a ghostly figure. A white, shadowy person. You can see a deeply unsettling face along with all facial features, eyes, a nose, a mouth, and even hair. But the apparition appears translucent and fuzzy. It's obvious this isn't a normal human. Taking a look at the second picture, it's a slightly different angle, but it still shows the same thing. Because of the entity's shocking, ghostly appearance, most believe it's the spirit of someone who had died on this land previously. Perhaps a soldier from long ago, or even more disturbing, a skinwalker that lurks on the land because of a curse from ancient witches. No matter what the correct theory is, it's clear to us that this is something otherworldly, something beyond our human explanation. A horrifying group of trail cam pictures have been circulating the internet recently. These photos show supposed small, skinny, goblin-like creatures. The photos come from various Chinese valleys and dense forests. The first photo here wasn't specified where exactly it was taken. But the second one that I'll show in a second was captured in Beijing. But as we can see, the first trail cam photo shows a very skinny, otherworldly creature. It holds the same shape as a human, but certainly is not. Viewers quickly pointed out the creature completely resembled Gollum from The Lord of the Rings, who is a small goblin-like creature just like this one. But obviously, Gollum is just a made-up creature from a movie, or is he? These creatures here say otherwise. Here is the second photo coming from a forest in Beijing. The locals speculated these creatures were something called the Jiangxi, also known as the hopping vampire or hopping zombie. According to Chinese folklore, these are human corpses that come back to life, and they hunt for humans' blood. But we can also see the second creature has one thing different about it: the very long ears protruding from the sides of its head. So perhaps there are different variations of these creatures or Jiangxis running through the forests of China. Definitely some of the most interesting and horrifying trail cam captures I've ever seen. This first trail cam capture comes from Tucson, Arizona, highlighted on May 19th, 2024. It was sent to an investigation group called Rocky Mountain Sasquatch by a very close friend of the trail cam owner. He was completely shocked and unsettled by the horrifying captures and knew they had to be investigated. Here is his report. He states, "This was from my friend's trail camera placed approximately 10 feet above the ground in a tree facing down directly towards a dried creek bed in a stretch of woods near Tucson, Arizona. He estimates that the being was around 10 feet tall because it's looking right into the trail camera and very close to it. Rocky Mountain Sasquatch analyzed the photo and applied different light filters and such. And they ultimately determined the photo seems to be real and unedited. So, considering this is an unedited photo, what could this strange creature be? Some are guessing it to be either a Bigfoot or a Yeti, but because of the shadowy and almost ghostly look, others think it could be some evil paranormal entity like a skinwalker. Perhaps this trail camera was set up on cursed land and skinwalkers live here. Or it could even be an alien. With its unproportionately large head, grayish color, and glowing eyes, it certainly resembles one. But the true answers remain a mystery. These captures come from a woman named Casey who took them in the Uinta Mountains in Utah. She was driving by when this strange, otherworldly creature caught her eye. According to RMS, the Uinta Mountains are a Bigfoot hotspot, with many different sightings and encounters coming from the area. But these captures in particular were taken on the south side of the mountains, bordering the Uinta Basin. And this basin specifically is infamous for other strange paranormal sightings, such as UFOs, UAPs, ghosts, and skinwalkers. That being said, here are the photos. Seen is a strange extraterrestrial-looking creature. It appears brownish in color, tall with a large head and long skinny arms and legs. And it's just standing there, unbothered, looking off into the distance. Here's what Casey had to say about her captures. My pictures were taken on January 15th near Farm Creek, one canyon over from the Uinta Canyon. I think the creature was trying to act like a tree to blend in with its surroundings. Rocky Mountain Sasquatch also stated that they had been in that area recently. And while they were there, they didn't see any log statues or carvings, so this couldn't have been a prop or statue of any kind. So, judging by the mystery surrounding this land, could it be a skinwalker? Or perhaps some other extraterrestrial creature? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This deeply unsettling video comes from the deep woods. A man was out for a hike, just enjoying the peacefulness and tranquility of the nature surrounding. However, as we could have guessed, his peace was quickly taken away. He begins to hear something galloping down the path behind him. And he turns around, and to his horror, he sees this. What initially appears like an innocent child running down the path is not innocent at all. The man is far into the woods, so what is a child doing in there all alone? This is when we take notice to the way it runs. It doesn't even run, it gallops and hops like a wild animal. She hops and slows down and turns her head and looks at the lone hiker. This is when we can see she doesn't have a human head. She appears to shapeshift before our eyes. Her head almost looks like a dog or bear or something. This is when the man retreated, fleeing from the woods for good. Commenters quickly speculated the girl was a skinwalker. Skinwalkers are evil, shape-shifting spirits notorious for trying to take the forms of humans and animals. They try to mimic them, but because they're not in fact humans or animals and they're actually demonic spirits, they can't exactly get the resemblance down to a T. Something always seems off, and that seems to be exactly what's going on here. Taking a look at a seriously creepy trail cam photo from southeast Montana. It comes from a man named Keith D. Keith is a member of the Northern Cheyenne Nation. He lives in Lame Deer, Montana on his reservation. He states that the photo comes from a fellow Cheyenne tribe member. The trail camera was set up on his very remote farmland near a spring. Considering it was in a very remote area, nobody should be out there, so this makes the human theory very unlikely. As we can see, the hidden cam captured a wide and tall creature. It's pretty blurry and fuzzy, but if we look closer, we can see it looks like it's covered in fur from head to toe. Also, we can see eyes and a mouth on its face. What could this strange bipedal creature be? Most are suspecting Bigfoot, but others think it's something else entirely. Keith himself suspects this to be a Bigfoot and says that he has lived in the woods his entire life, and he has never seen anything like this before. So it seems it's puzzling him just as much as it's puzzling us. A disturbing capture to say the least. On May 15th, 2024, a father and daughter were out playing in the backyard of their densely forested property. It was in the middle of the day and they were just enjoying their time together, until suddenly they were interrupted by something unknown stalking them from within the woods.
Hey, what are you doing over there?
The daughter spots something right behind the tree line. The father calls out, thinking it was probably just a person, but then it shows itself. A very pale and extremely skinny figure walks past the opening, only slightly revealing itself. It appears to have long dark hair on its head. It's hunched over and quickly makes its way through the brush, trying to keep itself hidden. The father quickly rushes towards where the thing was, but when he gets there, it's already long gone, as if it were never there in the first place.
I think it's a demon.
Where did it go?
I don't know.
Because of the paleness and skinniness, viewers theorized the rake, a supposed elongated cryptid creature that stalks and terrorizes humans. They're known for being pale and emaciated, with long sharp claws. But others think this is simply a hoax. Someone dressed up in a costume trying to prank the internet. What do you guys think? Is this one real or fake? Last August, a chilling Ring security video surfaced. It comes from a homeowner who lives in a small residential neighborhood. She was awoken very late one night by an alert from her phone that told her that movement was detected by her Ring camera. She opened up the Ring app and replayed the footage, and she was deeply disturbed at what she saw. The camera captured some strange creature running across her lawn. The woman immediately noticed the creature resembled a raptor. Looking closer, the creature is hunched over, running on its hind legs. It has a white head and a darker body with a tail at the end. We can also see it has long, skinny legs, and it even runs like a dinosaur. Skeptics speculate it's just some known animal, but what known animal on Earth looks like this? The woman also states that she has never caught anything else mysterious like this on her camera, making it so much more convincing. So what do you guys think about this one? Is it explainable, or is it really a used-to-be extinct creature that came back? This security camera video comes from East Texas on July 7th, 2019 at 9:32 p.m. The camera is posted facing towards the homeowner's small back patio, and at first everything seems normal, until we look further in the background to the road lit up by a lone street light. Suddenly, out from the darkness comes a pale, skinny, long-armed creature. It seems to walk with its arms, as its arms are so excessively long that they reach the ground as it walks along. Because of the hunched-over walk and the overall look of this strange creature, many think it could be a Sasquatch or Yeti. But others speculate other cryptid creatures like the rake or even the skinwalker. It really is a disturbing and mysterious video. And because the unknown being is so far away from the camera, we can't exactly tell what it is, leaving us wondering. And the homeowner doesn't know exactly what it was either, but they stress that it was indeed something supernatural. Taking a look at some ring camera footage captured in the driveway of a local home. Like most of these, once again, the footage initially appears innocent, but suddenly, practically appearing out of nowhere, are two small creatures. They practically materialize into thin air, and they begin floating and maneuvering around the driveway. They're very, very small, about the same height as the car's tires. Car tires, on average, are about 1.5 feet to 2 feet, so that's how tall these beings are. Looking closer, they appear dark and shadowy. Considering the shadowy appearance and the way they seemingly hover around, most agree they have to be something paranormal. Perhaps small goblin creatures or some sort of small malevolent spirits. Definitely some very eerie footage. What do you guys think they could be? The following video captures a so-called shapeshifter. A woman who lives in Columbus, Ohio caught this terrifying footage on her home security camera. It occurred right at the beginning of 2024. The woman lives on a remote property, and at around 5:14 a.m. motion was detected on her camera, and this is what she captured. You can see what looks like a light-colored, shadowy figure float into frame. It looks to be human-shaped, but then it slowly shrinks until it disappears completely. Then a bunny is seen appearing out of thin air, and it hops away in the same direction of the shadowy being. It's believed this was a shape-shifting spirit, maybe a skinwalker, that when no one was looking decided to take the form of an innocent bunny, but the camera caught it in the act. And the homeowner states that she has had other supernatural encounters on and around her land as well, leading her and many others to believe that she might live atop cursed land. She recalls, "I know I'm seeing these creatures, and then when I tell someone else to come look, it's a squirrel or it's a cat. These beings are shape-shifting." The woman is obviously shocked and doesn't know how to explain these strange encounters, but she now has video proof that may show us that shape-shifting spirits do indeed exist. This horrifying and shocking video comes from somewhere in Indonesia. A group of late-night explorers were wandering through the Indonesian forest, their path only lit up by their flashlights. As they walked on, they eventually came across something that is straight up nightmare fuel. A disheveled girl in a white robe is just sitting there holding what looks like a bag. As the hikers zoom in on the girl, it only becomes more disturbing, revealing one of the most unsettling looking faces ever. The woman has yellowish and pale skin, her eyes are open unnaturally wide, and her mouth is black. And her face seems horribly mangled. And it's unknown what she has inside her bag, but the hikers didn't stick around to find out. It was believed that this was a paranormal entity called a jinn that comes from Islamic culture. Jinns are said to be malevolent spirits that are usually unseen by humans, but they're capable of switching and taking on different forms such as humans and animals. So could this here be a jinn or even something else supernatural? Or could it be a woman who's harmed and in distress? Or is it a clever hoax set up by the hikers? Let me know what theory you guys believe in the comments down below. In June of 2023, a mother and daughter were walking along a path in the woods, a path they were very familiar with. They walked here frequently and never really had any strange or scary encounters in the area, but this day they did. As they wandered along enjoying the peacefulness of nature, a huge unidentified creature interrupted them.
Come on inside! Carly!
Seen in the brush just off the path is a giant hairy beast. When it notices it's been seen, it turns and flees. And you can tell the mother in the footage is completely freaked out and is calling for her daughter to run inside. Even though she was startled, she kept her composure enough to capture a pretty decent piece of footage of the creature. Zooming in and looking closer, it's covered in brownish fur. And its face and hands seem to be the only spots on its body not covered in fur. But its face looks horrifying. The main debate of this footage is whether it's a person in a costume or not. Some say because the fur looks cleanly shaved that it has to be a man in a costume. However, it's approximately 8 feet tall and the shoulders are very broad and its stature is very wide. So there's not really any way it could be a human. Maybe it's some sort of prop though? I don't know. This one is interesting for sure, but it definitely leaves us with many more questions than answers. Taking a look at a very weird video coming from the deep woods. It was taken in 2023 but hasn't been seen by many. A man began filming as some very strange looking animals made their way past him. As you can see, these odd creatures look like mini dinosaurs running by. But dinosaurs are extinct, right? How could this be? It looks very real, doesn't it? Now, initially looking at this footage, I thought for sure that these were some sort of dinosaurs. But as I looked closer, I realized what exactly was going on here. The footage is actually played in reverse. And the supposed dinosaur heads and necks are actually tails. And these creatures are not in fact dinosaurs at all. Not even close to dinosaurs, actually. They're weasels running around looking for food. And I was upset because I loved the idea that these were small dinosaurs running around in the woods. But sadly, they're not at all. Let me know in the comments if this one tricked you as well. This strange phenomenon was captured by a trail camera on September 3rd, 2023, but hasn't been seen by virtually anyone at all, so I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention. The trail camera was placed somewhere in a secluded forest. The camera is angled upwards, and at first, all you can see is the night sky and the top of some tree. But watch what happens next. Suddenly, all kinds of weird lights fly around strangely. It's some of the weirdest and most mysterious trail cam footage I've ever seen. The owner of the trail camera had no clue what it was and wanted to get some answers, so he uploaded it to the internet for the world to see. Theories range from natural phenomena to supernatural phenomena. Some stated that it could be spider webs or something flying around causing a weird anomaly within the camera. But how can a spider web look like orbs of light floating around? This is why lots of people thought that it could be paranormal activity, considering strange orbs of light caught on camera is often associated with ghostly spirits. Some even think it could be some sort of low-flying UFOs, hovering around in the dead of night. However, like a lot of these, I have no clue what could have been causing this, but it really does make for a mysterious piece of footage. This creepy footage has been freaking people out for a while now, with many thinking it's footage of a real skinwalker. The legend of the skinwalker originates from the Navajo tribe, telling tales of shapeshifters that roam on land cursed by witches. But it was even more popularized when the stories from the infamous Skinwalker Ranch emerged. The very convincing stories that told the tales of a family living on a secluded ranch, being terrorized by shapeshifting beings. So now that you know where the legend comes from, let's take a look at this so-called skinwalker caught on camera. The caption reads, "Caught a skinwalker mid-transformation from a dog to a horse." As you can see, it has the body of a horse, but the head of a dog. It really does look like a horse in the middle of a transformation into a dog. Something about the creature just looks super off-putting. So the real question is this a shape-shifting skinwalker, or is it actually a half-dog, half-horse hybrid? Either way, it doesn't look right. And is it even possible to create a dog-horse hybrid? This footage has been going extremely viral and people can't explain it. It shows what seems to be a real-life time traveler. That's right, just like in the movies, but in real life. The video comes from a man named Alex Shaw. Take a look at his footage and explanation of the strange event, all caught on his security cameras.
So as you can see, he's wandering around my backyard. I don't know what he's trying to do. Now he's like thinking like where to go. Actually ends up going into my shed. So you can see he opens it, goes into the shed.
The unknown man enters his shed at 2:38 p.m. on April 26th. The homeowner calls the police. The police searched the small shed twice thoroughly, and the man was nowhere to be seen. Until at 5:23 p.m. on April 27th. Someone exits the shed. Now keep in mind his security camera recorded everything. And on his TikTok, he even replays the footage, and throughout the entire time period, we never see anyone exit the shed. But anyways, the man here looks noticeably older, and he even turns and looks at the security camera as he's walking away. Now you might be saying, oh, this is just a different person, but look. Looking closer, they look like the exact same person, but the second guy looks so much older. They have the same build, the same glasses, and the same face. And this is why people, including the uploader himself, believe he was a real-life time traveler. Who knows, maybe sometime in the future with new technology, we will somehow create the ability to time travel. I mean, we already have all kinds of new AI and robot technology. Who knows how far it could possibly advance. This quick trail cam clip captures an unexplainable phenomenon. The trail camera was set up to film this strange stick and apple contraption that I'm assuming is trying to catch some kind of animal or something. But deviating our attention away from this strange contraption and looking into the night sky above, we can see a strange light formation appear out of nowhere. It appears and gets brighter and brighter until it begins to dim and disappear again. Then another orb of light lights up and does the same thing right beside. The trail cam owner claims he has no clue what could have caused this. And that the lights appeared at least 20 feet in the air. So what the heck could it be? The trail cam owners are certainly puzzled, and so are we, the viewers. Could it be something supernatural like UFOs or aliens? Or is there a simple worldly explanation? Let us know. Taking a look at what people are calling one of the most convincing UFO sightings ever caught on camera. Posted to TikTok on March 17th, 2024. The footage appears to be taken in a rather remote area. Judging by the fact that the filmers are speaking in Spanish, we can assume the footage does not come from the US. Take a look at what they filmed.
Logan se va.
A strange light craft is hovering and shifting around through the sky. The lights blink and twinkle, creating a completely otherworldly sight. This is obviously not an aircraft of this world, as our crafts don't have lights like that and they don't hover around like that. It really is some unexplainable footage. We can even see as the footage goes on, the UFO slowly drops straight down, lower and lower until it's blocked by the trees. So what do we think about this one? Is this really a UFO controlled by extraterrestrial beings from another planet, with access to technology we don't have here on Earth? Or is there somehow a worldly explanation? Let me know your theories in the comments down below. The following short clip taken on May 12th is terrifying. Even though it's a known creature of the world, it's still chilling. I mean, the size of this beastly animal is scary enough, but look at its eyes. It swims by and turns its head and locks eyes with the camera, staring directly into our souls. Imagine just standing there on the dock and you look down and see a giant pair of eyes just staring right back at you. There's something so off-putting about this encounter. I'm convinced that if the filmer would have fallen into the water at this instant, it would have attacked her immediately. And let's just say it wouldn't have ended up good. This very clear video has been getting lots of attention on TikTok recently. Some are highly skeptical, saying it definitely looks edited, but others are not so sure. So I thought I'd bring it to your attention regardless. It comes from the Hall family on June 17th, 2023. They have a Ring security camera mounted in their backyard to keep them safe and make sure no intruders come by. But this wasn't the type of intruder they expected. The caption reads, "Caught this on my Ring camera last night." As I said earlier, many suspect this is edited because of how clear it looks. But what do you guys think? It first goes through the hammock, causing it to flip. Then it floats around the area for quite some time. But anyways, despite the hoax allegations, the family sticks to their word, stating that the footage is real and authentic. But people in the comments seem more concerned about what looks like a giant ladybug in the middle of their yard. They seem more worried about that than the ghostly apparition floating past. Here is some trail cam footage of animals you don't usually capture on a trail cam. Take a look. 2 bald eagles walk around and fly around and chirp. Just some really up-close footage of such a rare and beautiful specimen. Here's a clip of another bald eagle caught on a trail cam. This one comes from Dan Vaught. I'm sure when these people first installed their trail cameras, they never dreamt of capturing a bald eagle on them, but somehow they did. This chilling photo initially comes from Reddit. The location was not listed, however it said it was miles back into a forest. The caption reads, "This was from a relative's trail camera. I'm not going to assume anything. Thoughts?" I'm sure we all have thoughts on this one. My main one being that this could be some kind of cult or something. Why else are these people dressed up in white robes and wandering around a very remote part of the woods? But we can't jump to any conclusions here because there's not enough information given. So it looks like the truth will remain unlisted. Nonetheless, definitely something no one would expect to capture on a trail camera. Throughout this video so far, we've taken a look at unknown creatures and other mysterious captures. But this one's a little different. Taken in Coorg, South India on a private coffee plantation, here is the trail cam video. A gang of wild elephants emerge from within the woods and begin investigating the trail camera. These animals are smart and immediately take notice to this foreign device. And you can tell they're on edge. They all get up very close and just stare at the camera. But luckily, trail cameras are just cameras and are not harmful devices, so they eventually just walk away unharmed. But man, just look how big these beastly animals are. I gotta be honest, they definitely look a lot scarier up close like this. These here are Indian elephants. These giant specimens can grow up to 10 to 11 feet at the shoulder, and they can weigh up to a whopping 5,000 kilograms. That's 11,020 pounds. Not only are they absolutely massive, but they're very territorial and get mad easily. When mad, they will chase and trample you. And even though they're this big, they can still run up to 15 miles per hour, which is faster than the average human sprinting speed. Definitely a very scary, but also pretty cool animal. And the fact that they were caught this closely on a trail camera is mind-blowing. Okay everyone, brace yourselves because this next video is downright eerie. Someone from a high-rise apartment captured something unsettling in the ruins of an abandoned building across the street. They zoom in closer and we get a good look at what seems to be an otherworldly creature. It's vaguely human-shaped but disturbingly off. It's gaunt and skeletal, almost like a walking skeleton. And its face is either blurred or completely lacking any recognizable features. The way it moves is unnerving too, more like gliding than walking, giving off an utterly unnatural vibe. What's even more bizarre is that the person filming the video is several floors up in the opposite building. Yet we can see the creature notice the man filming. It acknowledges it's being watched and then it glides out of sight. What could this strange creature be? Could it be an alien hiding out on this abandoned property? Whatever it is, it's clearly not human. The following mysterious video was taken on Christmas of 2023. The uploader has a security camera mounted in their backyard to keep the area safe and secure. And on this night, it would capture something downright scary. A man or figure is lurking in the trees behind the neighbor's fence. Something is very off-putting about this photo. This person is just standing there, staring directly at the camera. They also appear to be wearing a white robe or dress of some sort. Looking closer, we can almost make out a pair of black eyes. Because of the dark and ominous look, people, including the homeowners, began to speculate that this was not just a person, rather a paranormal entity. I mean, either one is a scary answer, because if this is a man and he looks like this, dressed up in this attire, and he's out this late on Christmas, he's definitely up to no good. Taking a look at an unexplainable nature clip that shows us just how unpredictable nature can be. In the captivating piece of footage, the usually serene setting of the river transforms into a scene of mystery. As the camera rolls, the riverbed beneath the water begins to rise, and it comes up through the water's surface, emerging from beneath. The way the ground comes up and just reshapes the land is super unsettling. And we can't help but to think that an otherworldly paranormal force could be responsible. Let me know what you all think. Continuing on with the theme of skinwalkers and shapeshifters, many people think the following footage is a deer about to shapeshift, but it saw the person filming with the camera and it stopped, realizing it wasn't alone. Take a look. The fact that the deer was in the middle of a cemetery is what sold people the most. But we can see here as the deer stretches its back end out abnormally. Because of how strange it looked, people thought that it had begun the process of shapeshifting, which told them it was in fact not a deer at all, and actually a skinwalker disguising as a deer. But what do you guys think? Most likely this one here is probably just a deer stretching, and not a skinwalker. Or maybe that's what it wants us to think. Here is one of the most infamous creepy trail cam captures ever. Some of you may have even seen this photo before. It's of a little boy just standing there in what looks like the middle of the woods, or at least a remote property. And he's just standing there staring directly at the trail cam, and his eyes are flashed white. It's just an overall unsettling photo to look at. Despite this being one of the most well-known trail cam captures of all time, no one has ever come forward with a story, so it still remains a mystery as to what was really going on here. Some say it's just a lost boy wandering around late at night. Others think the explanation is more paranormal, given the eeriness of it and the mysterious, unknown backstory. Some even go as far as to say that the boy is possessed. I mean, he just looks straight up demonic. The way he's just standing there staring with his eyes glowing, it is truly terrifying. And because we have no clue of where or when or what was happening while this photo took place, it will live on in infamy. A couple were out hiking on February 6th, 2024, but as they walked along this forested trail, they spotted something strange. Out from the brush came a strange-looking bird. This bird is called a cassowary. But it looks like a pretty peaceful bird, doesn't it? Most of the time, these big birds aren't overly aggressive to humans. But they have attacked humans hundreds of times, and they're extremely powerful. Considering they can grow up to 6 feet tall, run 30 miles per hour, and jump over 7 feet in the air, an attack from one of these birds could be devastating. And that's exactly what happened in April of 2019. A 75-year-old farmer named Marvin Hajos, who lived in Florida, actually kept one of these cassowary birds on his farm, until one day he fell while he was inside the enclosure with the bird, and it took the opportunity and it pounced on him. The attack was so devastating that he sadly passed away on his way to the hospital. Approximately 12 minutes after the attack, he suffered deep cuts all over his entire body, from his face to his legs, some causing severe damage to an artery in his arm. Just a horrible story with a horrible ending that shows us why we can never trust wild animals. Even a cassowary, which seems like a rather innocent animal. This just goes to show us that the known creatures of the world can be just as scary as the unknown creatures, maybe even scarier. But anyways, my condolences go out to anybody who suffered the loss of Marvin Hajos, and hopefully this story can spread awareness and maybe even save some other people's lives. On April 4th, 2024, a group of people were driving down an Arizona road. As they drove, they looked out into the night sky and noticed something really creepy.
Bro, I know y'all see this. What the is going on? This is in Arizona. I don't know what's going on. Sorry for my language. What? I don't know what's going on. Look at this in the sky. They're circling. They're circling literally. They are circling literally. What is this? Somebody please tell me.
You can tell they're completely shocked as a bunch of red glowing lights fly about in the night sky. They move around slowly and aimlessly, and new lights even begin to appear. What could this strange phenomenon be? The videographers and online users seem to believe this is something supernatural, specifically UFOs controlled by aliens from another planet. Others rely on more scientific theories like meteors or something. But how are there this many, and why are they moving so slowly and strangely in a weird pattern? This almost makes the meteor theory make no sense. And it's crazy to see how many UFO sightings have already come in 2024. It really makes us wonder what we're going to see next. The following paranormal clip comes from a haunted location in Soyapango, El Salvador. A group of friends who go exploring often heard about this creepy location, and they wanted to check it out for themselves. The location is a deserted parking area filled with broken down and old buses that don't work anymore. And the rumor is that if you go there late at night, you will see shadow people inside these buses. But when the group of explorers got there, unexplainable things began to happen right away.
Miren. Está encendido, ve. Están encendidos. Se han encendido las luces del bus.
A single light is on at the back of one of these buses. Why is this scary? Because these buses are not supposed to work at all, so there's no reason a light should be on. Despite thinking something paranormal could be at work here, they stuck around for a little bit longer, investigating the buses, finding no one who could be responsible for the light. After feeling creeped out, they decided to leave the site. But as they were walking away, they turned around and saw something standing there by the buses. And when they zoomed in and looked closer, it sent chills down their spine. One of the most horrifying sights of all time. Just as the legend stated, a shadow person is seen standing there watching them. The shadow seems tall and skinny, and it just stands there motionless. It seems the evil spirit didn't want them there, so it made itself known to warn them to never come back again. A scene straight out of a nightmare. Coming from Monica Cruz via Bizarre Bub, the footage has been shocking and terrifying the world. Monica works as a security guard at an abandoned building. They have various CCTV cameras set up around the property, and at this time, no guards were at the physical location, but their cameras showed that someone or something was there. Take a look.
No? Who's on call?
We need to check the one in the office. Everybody leaves because I can freaking hear it.
Oh my god, I'm getting chills. I quit.
And it moves fast.
Wow. It does.
Some unknown dark shadow slithers along the ground and gets up and begins to float upwards. You can hear the security guards are petrified, saying things like, "I have chills and I quit." But then it's seen disappearing for a moment. And then it comes back and repeats the same process again, but this time it looks like it floats into the window and into the building. Because of the fluid-like motion and the shadowy appearance, it's clear this isn't an intruder they know how to deal with. Being too freaked out, they decided not to go to the property this night. Instead, they just monitored it closely through the security cameras. Monica relays the video still chills her to the bone, and that this was the only time something unexplainable like this happened. And luckily they had security cameras because nobody would have believed it. On May 4th, 2024, this insanely disturbing video was highlighted via Instagram. A YouTuber was confronted by the police this morning. They showed her a video from her neighbor's Ring camera taken a few nights prior, and when she saw it, she couldn't believe her eyes. In the middle of the night, the neighbors called the police because of an unknown woman on their property. She was behaving and moving around very strangely. When showing police, the neighbors eventually recognized the intruder. It was a woman who lives a few houses down, the YouTuber. Take a look at what was caught on camera along with the woman speaking about it.
This is what the police sent me. This is 2 weeks ago at about 10 p.m. They say that that's me. I know I was in bed. I know I was in bed. The mannerisms, the behaviors, they're just off.
She doesn't recall this ever happening. She believes she could have been sleepwalking or something, and maybe that's the reason behind all of this. However, online viewers think something much more dark is going on, specifically that she was possessed. The way she moves around is unnerving, something not typical of a sleepwalker. Taking a look at another scary security camera clip. The camera is set up in a drive-thru to monitor the area and to make sure everybody is safe. And on this day, January 16th, 2023, what it captured was shocking. A man in a truck pulls up to the drive-thru window. As the barista goes to hand him the money, he grabs her wrist and tries to pull her through the window. He grabs her with his left hand, and in his right hand is a makeshift looped zip tie device, and he throws it out, trying to capture her. But luckily, she was able to pull away and remain inside. This is when the man leaves and pulls away, unsuccessful in his attack. But the attacker made a crucial mistake before pulling away. He was completely unaware that a hidden security camera was recording the encounter the entire time. Although he managed to drive away without the camera catching his license plates, there was one distinctive piece of information that he gave up: his distinctive tattoo on his left forearm. Looking closer, the tattoo reads Chevrolet. Because this was a rather unique tattoo, it wasn't too hard to figure out who he was. especially with, quote, overwhelming support from the community. So finally, the Auburn, Washington Police Department located and arrested the suspect. Details of what exactly he was charged with was left unknown, but thanks to the security camera, they were able to get this dangerous man off the streets. This mysterious piece of video was released on March 24th, 2024 with not much context. The corpse of some unknown alien fish hybrid was reportedly found and taken back to a research center. Here's the footage of the body. We can see it has webbed and glossy skin. Its eyes are glazed over, its mouth is filled with sharp, jagged teeth with an elongated jaw. It also has a tail attached to its legs, making it look like an aquatic creature. Now it definitely looks extremely realistic, but some think it's a little too realistic, speculating it's just a prop. However, if it is just a prop, it's one of the best ones we've ever seen. Because of little information about this, we don't know if it was analyzed by scientists or what steps were taken if this was a real alien corpse. So it leaves us wondering, is it simply a hyper-realistic prop, or is it a real corpse of an unknown alien creature? Here is a credible UFO sighting coming from the skies of Hudson Square, New York. It happened on March 25th, 2024. The filmer of the video states, "As I was flying home from Myrtle Beach, I was taking a video of the city from the window of the plane. This is when I saw a shadow come out of nowhere and fly right past." Here's their footage. Watching the video first, it's so quick that you may have missed it. But as we slow the video down, we can see the strange object. Freezing it here and analyzing the photo, it looks like some sort of capsule. And you can almost see what looks like a window or a windshield of some sort towards the front. On Earth, we don't have any aircrafts that look like that, so how could you explain this? Because nobody has really ever seen anything like this, people don't have a rational explanation, so they guess that it's a UFO from another planet. It really does amaze me how many UFO sightings happen recently. It seems like almost every day a new piece of evidence is released, and the videos are seeming to get clearer and clearer, making many more believe. The following unsettling video is currently going viral. Posted to Instagram on March 9th, 2024, it shows a man who just got out of the ocean. But as he got out of the ocean, he realized that something was attached to his skin.
Wow. Ay, grabe. Grabe ang lakas.
On his forearm, what looks like a tentacle is tightly gripping and ripping at his skin. Despite the intense pain and horrifying look of the encounter, the man remains in good spirits. However, he later said, "This hurt my skin so much." At first glance, it's unknown what is latched to him, but according to the comments, it's the tentacle of an octopus. Even though it's detached from the octopus's body, it's still moving around and acting as if it's alive. Honestly, some very crazy footage, but luckily this man was okay and he was eventually able to pry off the tentacle. But just imagine having this stuck to you and ripping and gripping at your skin and you can't get it off. Definitely like something straight out of a nightmare. Even though the following capture was taken in 2020, it hasn't been seen by many. A deep-sea exploration team were diving and exploring a very unknown and deep spot in the ocean. It was practically an unexplored trench. As they swam around, they eventually came across a creature that looked straight up otherworldly. The photo shows an alien-looking creature with a massive head and then long spread-out limbs or tentacles of some sort. The foreign look of this creature is what caused this photo to go viral. And looking closer at the photo, we can see various numbers such as depth and location. I just don't necessarily know how to read it. But that definitely adds to the credibility of the photo. According to the uploader, scientists can't determine what it is, but they think it could potentially be some kind of squid or jellyfish. But because of the foreign look, many commenters believe it to be an alien, or some sort of sea monster that roams in the deep, unexplored depths of the oceans. It's honestly not too far-fetched of a theory if you think about it. As you may know, only 5% of the entire ocean has been explored. That leaves plenty of room for horrifying unknown creatures to roam. Hopefully, one day we can explore most of the ocean to find out what's really out there. Taking a look at an unexplainable video taken on March 25th, 2024, a wife and husband were driving past a lake with big mountains in the background, and everything seems pretty normal at first. However, the woman begins to notice something very weird happening every time they start to drive.
Alright, so it's moving. Okay, when we start moving, it looks like it's still, and then you can tell it's moving.
Every time they drive, the water stops flowing and just sits completely still. How does this make sense? She showcases this a few times. She stops and starts driving, and every single time it stops and begins to flow again. People began to call this a real-life glitch in the Matrix. Like a glitch in a video game, but this time in reality. Skeptics were quick to call out that they were moving in the opposite direction of the water, so that's why it appears to stand still when they move. But how can it remain this still? Like it's completely still. I don't know, is this explainable or is it really a glitch in the Matrix? But just the other day, the Pentagon themselves would release some absolutely unexplainable footage. An unidentified flying object was spotted and filmed by multiple different watch cameras. Check it out. According to the text, it was taken on January 15th, 2023. As we look at all the different cameras this UFO was captured on, the evidence becomes even more compelling. What the heck could it be? Experts are completely puzzled by the footage, saying that the only explanation is that it was a UFO. Some speculate it's an alien spacecraft. UFO and alien encounters have been popping up like crazy recently, adding more credibility to this theory. Could another planet have finally created the technology necessary to make it to our planet? And are we under attack? But sources say that they've never really seen an object that looks like this before. It's unique and seems to be not from this world. Definitely lots of unanswered questions with this one. I will keep you all updated if more information is released. On February 19th, 2024, at around midnight in Denver, Colorado, a Ring camera would pick up something terrifying. The location specifically was South Denver, in a neighborhood located by Interstate 225 and Yosemite Road. The homeowners were completely unaware of the capture until the next morning. This is when they took a look at their footage, and this is what they saw. A woman is frantically running around being chased by someone in a truck. She runs one way and then turns around and tries to lose him, but the truck quickly turns back around and continues to chase after her. The truck even deviates off of the snowy road and into the grass to continue this pursuit, seen there at the end. It's obvious the truck driver's intention is to hurt her. The homeowners, after seeing this footage, quickly contacted the police, who immediately started an investigation. The police eventually located and found the man who was driving the truck and arrested him later that day. And it turns out that woman actually successfully got away from that man that night. The Denver Police Department identified the situation as a domestic dispute, a domestic violence case. Police stated the woman was forced into the truck, managed to escape, and then got chased by the man driving the truck as she ran away. Just a very concerning and frightening situation here. It's unknown what exactly the aggressor was charged with and how long he will spend in jail, but hopefully it's a long time. And I think I can speak for all of us when I say I'm glad the woman is okay and that she survived this dangerous encounter. A man named Jeff Knoll has a Ring doorbell camera installed on his front porch. And on this night, very late into the night, he would capture something downright chilling. He uploaded his encounter to YouTube with the title, "Man Trying to Enter My Home in the Middle of the Night." As we can see, an unknown man stands on his porch behaving strangely. He begins looking around and inspecting the door, windows, and camera, trying to find a way inside. The creepy man eventually gets extremely close to the camera while muttering strange nonsense. He says weird things like, "What do I do and what do I say?" What could he possibly mean by this? It's obvious this man is dangerous and unhinged. Luckily, one of the homeowners is eventually made known of his presence and halts his break-in attempt by confronting him through a window. She yells out that she's calling the police, to which the man makes up an obviously fake excuse, saying that he's looking for his dog Fido.
Okay, I was just looking for my dog, Fido. You don't have to get all like that and stuff, honey. You know, we could be friends.
His response to the woman is strange, saying that they could just be friends while standing there staring at her. Something about this man is off, and luckily the threat to contact authorities was enough to scare him away. It remains a mystery as to what the man's intentions were if he were to get inside, but luckily the strange man was never seen or heard from by the family ever again. The following video is some of the scariest footage of the entire video. A man's wife was home alone. The husband was not home at the time, but he got a notification from his Ring app. Remembering his wife was home alone, he quickly got out his phone and worriedly checked the app, and here is what he saw. A shirtless man he didn't recognize was crawling around on the porch. He gets up and tries the front door, but luckily it was locked. This is when the intruder goes back down the stairs and makes his way to the side of the house. Witnessing this through the camera, the husband quickly called the police and also contacted the off-duty police officer that lives next door. 4 officers and a canine unit begin to try to track down the dangerous intruder. However, this was not an easy task as the unhinged man began running and hiding throughout the neighborhood. leaving the whole neighborhood on high alert. He was spotted by a few different neighbors at different times, but when the police would get there, he already escaped. After this went on for a while, a neighbor began to yell because he thought he heard someone hiding in his backyard. So the husband, who rushed home because of all of this, quickly went over there and checked with him. But the intruder was nowhere to be seen. But for some reason, the back porch light had been unscrewed and off, and the intruder was responsible. But still, no one could find him. That is, until about an hour later. The man who uploaded this video was out on his back deck. He looked over and saw the shirtless man again, unscrewing another light on a different house, and it was all captured on his back Ring camera. Armed, the homeowner rushed over to the property and confronted the intruder. He told him to get on the ground, but the elusive man sprinted away once again. He ran and broke into a crawl space at a nearby home, attempting to hide once again. But shortly, the police showed up again and they apprehended the man from within the crawl space after a very lengthy search. The intruder was charged with 2 counts of aggravated burglary, disorderly conduct, trespassing, and public intoxication. Authorities later stated that hard drugs were found in the man's system. Also, he had a warrant out for his arrest for failure to appear in court for another burglary case just like this one, so this wasn't the first. How long he will remain in jail was never relayed to the public, but he will likely stay in there for a very, very long time. This horrifying Ring video comes from inside a home. Take a look at the footage along with the uploader's explanation.
So about 1:30 a.m. I get a notification that there's motion.
Motion detected at the family room.
There's like a light, but I instantly think, okay, that's like a spider web. But I keep watching. It begins to turn into like one solid object, and then got real.
A strange light appears in the family room at about 1 a.m. It started out as a normal looking orb, and then it grows into a weird bar of light, and then it shrinks and begins shaking violently. As you could hear, the woman at first speculated a spider web, but looking closer, she didn't see any spider web or anything. And the way it changes shape made her and her family believe that something paranormal was responsible. She also states that the dog was crying and wouldn't go into the living room. It's said that pets such as cats and dogs are able to see and sense spirits that we humans can't. Could this be the case here? But then the uploader goes back in and begins to investigate to figure out what this is. The strange orb does not leave, puzzling them further.
Oh, we right at it. Come on, Brandon, get out of here. Come on.
The woman then eventually lays out Bibles on the table in an attempt to make whatever it is go away. And eventually it does go away, but the footage cuts off here. What do you guys think about this one? Is this just some weird camera glitch or anomaly? Or is it really something paranormal, an entity that haunts and hides within their home? The following video comes from Waukesha, Wisconsin on December 26, 2023. The video shows a woman in a coat and hat approaching a homeowner's front porch. What she does next was not expected. What we didn't know initially was that she had a big rock or at least something heavy in her hand. For some reason, she approaches the doorstep and chucks it, completely shattering the front glass door. But she's not done yet. She grabs the rock and retreats. But as she walks away, she stops and walks up and down the side of the car, scratching it thoroughly. Then she walks away like nothing happened. Not much context was given for this piece of footage. So why the woman did this was never really made known. However, we can assume, since she was caught pretty clearly on the Ring camera, that she was probably pretty easily caught and charged by authorities. Why do you guys think she did this? This Ring capture was taken on August 17th, 2023 at around 4:34 a.m. The homeowner, concerned and confused at what he just captured, decided to share his encounter with the world via his TikTok page, hoping to possibly get an explanation as to what it was. Check it out.
My Ring doorbell picked up the creepiest creature walking down my house at 4:30 in the morning. I need you guys to help me identify this thing.
The man states the being kinda looks like a turtle or something. But obviously, a turtle can't climb down the side of a house. It's just not possible for those animals to do. So what the heck could this be? Despite garnering some views, people still can't find a set-in-stone theory for this one. Explanations range from animals such as squirrels or groundhogs to unknown creatures or ghosts. It really is one of the most unexplainable captures I've seen, and it looks like it will forever remain unexplained. This scary but also kind of funny Ring doorbell clip comes from a woman named Marla Faye. She arrives home and approaches her front porch to go inside, but she is stopped in her tracks by an unexpected visitor.
Oh my God. Oh.
Right before she reaches the porch, a pretty decent-sized snake pops out and slithers quickly across the path, right in front of her. She's lucky she didn't step on it, especially because she's not wearing any shoes. But you can see it definitely shocked her, but she shakes it off and quickly goes inside. A close call for sure. Imagine the snake wasn't this fast, or if the girl was a few steps ahead. She could have easily stepped on the snake and most likely it would have turned and bit her. And I can't exactly tell what kind of snake it is, but judging by the color, size, and shape, I don't think this is a venomous snake. So that's a good thing at least. But let me know if any of you guys know what kind of snake it is. But anyways, luckily both the woman and the snake survived this dangerous encounter. The scary footage was released on May 5th, 2024 to TikTok. The footage shows a large prehistoric-looking bird walking into a room. What it does next is unexpected. The bird here is called a shoebill. It's a big, long-legged bird with an enormous shoe-shaped bill, hence the name. Despite the prehistoric and predatory look, the creature is actually rather docile than aggressive. They commonly eat fish and do not mess with humans. They reside in freshwater marshes and swamps. And the noise it's making here in the video is actually a way of greeting the people around. But they also do this noise during nesting as well, I assume to scare off any predators and let the other animals know in the area that it's there. Despite the pretty eerie look, they're actually cool animals. But man, if I heard them do that noise in person, I would definitely not think it's some sort of greeting. It's super intimidating, and I would definitely take that as a sign to leave, and to get as far away from the animal as possible. This scary but also kind of funny video was uploaded to TikTok on April 28, 2024 by a woman named Erin Morrigan. She looked out into her backyard when she noticed an unwelcome visitor stuck inside her neighbor's fence. It's unknown how and why the alligator got there in the first place, but it's determined to make it back to its home. Slowly but surely, it climbs its way back over the fence and clumsily plops into the grass on the other side. Then it quickly crawls back to the river from whence it came. Just a really crazy piece of footage, something you don't usually see often. Imagine you're sitting in your house just minding your own business when you look out and see an alligator roaming around in your backyard. As you know, alligators are extremely dangerous and have one of the strongest bites in the entire world, so it's obviously best to keep your distance from these reptilian predators. Luckily, no one or even no pets were outside during this encounter, so everyone remained safe and kept a safe distance. Alright, I think that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, go ahead and smash the like button, mom. Let's aim for 2,000 likes for another one of these scary trail camera videos. And if you want to get to know me more, you want to see more of my spooky content, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Maxwell Fear, or go ahead and follow me on TikTok, Maximum Fear YT. And be sure to subscribe to the channel because only 14% of you guys who watch my videos are subscribed. And be sure to hit that bell as well so you don't miss when I upload. And also feel free to check out my special Maximum Fear merchandise and coffee mugs. They're in the description down below. And check out my second channel, More Maximum Fear, link in description as well. Alright, I hope your fear was maximized. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.